This is Leo Cloutier with Malice to an End. It's indeed a pleasure to have as our guest here today a fellow who's well known in our part of the country, having appeared at our baseball dinner in 1970. I'd like to welcome to our show with the St. Louis Cardinals now, Donn Clendenon. Welcome, Donn.
Well, it's always glad to talk to you, Leo.
Well, Donn, it's certainly a pleasure to see you here today. Donn, with the Cardinals, you were with the Mets the time that you visited us in Manchester, Donn, 1969. Not only yourself, but a lot of people will never forget.
Well, I think it was good for baseball. The Mets were a young ball club, and they put it all together, and they became world champions. And it's always a great thrill to be a world champion, and I think that a club that was recently in the National League for 9 years, a new club, no one predicted or no one could possibly think that they could possibly win it, and they came around and did it, and, well, it was just a great thrill.
Speaking about they came around and did it, also Donn Clendenon came around and did it. You got the Most Valuable Player award in that World Series, which was a tremendous achievement, Donn.
Well, to me, it was, I think, the highlight of my career, because in 1969, when the baseball season started, I was not in baseball. I missed about 2 weeks of the season, and went down with 8 days spring training, and went to Montreal in the cold weather, and was traded June, and it was just a dismal year, and the only thing that could pick it up was the World Series, and I got fortunate and hit a couple of balls good, and they decided I was MVP, and it was certainly a pleasure, but it could have gone to any of the guys that year.
You know, Donn, this goes back to the old line that they use, that all good things come to he who waits, and you were one of those, and you certainly achieved your share, didn't you?
Well, I was lucky, and I hope that old adage still holds true, because I'm waiting now, and I hope we can win it again this year.
You know, Donn, your ball club in 1969, the New York Mets, in comparison with the Pittsburgh Pirates of last year, when they came back and also defeated the Baltimore Orioles in the World Series, as you did in '69. However, your club, man for man, would you say did not compare with the Baltimore Ball Club?
No, I thought the Baltimore Club, they had a lot of great superstars, the big names. So we had nobody. We were a bunch of also, runs ran.
But you caught fire.
Yeah, it was a great team effort in that part. We didn't have any guy that could sustain a great offensive attack and win for us. We had to just do it by bunting, base running, diving, defense, and we had bunting, and we had to put it all together. It was more of a collective team effort, I think, than what the Pirates did last year. The Pirates had the Stodgers, the Clementis, and all the great hitters. See, we didn't have any great hitters, and we had just put everything we could together to get to score a run, to advance a run up to second base and to third, and squeeze them in if we had to. And I enjoyed that, because no one person can say that I was the main factor in succeeding. It was a great team effort. Not only Ron, Cleo and Jones, and all of them. And as I said, it was a great team effort. But this is 1972, Leo, and
right.
I don't like to reminisce that much. You can't live in the past.
Well, you're so right. Donn, how do you feel about being with the Cardinals? It's a great organization.
Well, I have been with them now since January, and I've been in spring training a couple of weeks. I think they're a first-class organization. We definitely have a shot at it this year. We have fine pitching. If we can get a good year out of Joe Torre and another fine year out of Simmons, Gibson can come around and win 20, and some of these other guys, some of the young guys can come through, and the old guys have a usual year. We'll be in contention. And as long as you're in contention, you got a chance to win it.
Yes, all right. Donn, I certainly want to thank you very much for this interview, and I want to wish you and the St. Louis Cardinals another divisional title, that pennant, and get into that World Series again and get that MVP.
We'll be trying.
Thank you very much, Donn. Now, this was an interview with Donn Clendenon, the star first baseman of the St. Louis Cardinals, and this brings us to the end of With Malice to an End. Until tomorrow at the same time, Leo Cloutier, good day.
Brought to you by PosterFix. At PosterFix, we bring your vintage posters back to life. To learn more about Leo Cloutier's sports world, visit leocloutier.com.